You are now tuning in to the Hemp Honors Daily RoundUp, where we discuss everything hemp under the sun, all rolled into fun. Sponsored by the Hemp Honors online publication. For the most up-to-date articles and videos from the hemp industry, go to thehemphonors.com. If you're under 18, do me a favor, click the X. This ain't for you. Now on to the show. It's Hemp Honors. Hemp Honors, baby. Let's get to the news. Let's get to the news. Let's get to the news. You can't lose with Hemp Honors News. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Hemp Honors Daily RoundUp with your host, Dante Smith, where we discuss everything hemp under the sun, all rolled into fun. Now, without delay, let's get to it. On today's top news, marijuana is legal in the state of New Jersey and charges are supposed to be dropped, right? Well, you would be surprised. Nuances in the laws have left those with similar minor marijuana charges facing different outcomes, as some are receiving dismissals in days while others wait for their day in court. The chaotic situation isn't surprising to defense attorneys who have watched marijuana arrests continue for months, even though a majority of New Jersey voters said yes to legal marijuana in November. Jeff Henniger, a Tinton Falls-based criminal defense attorney, had this to say. I kind of expected this was going to happen, that there was going to be some growing pains. The Attorney General's order covered a handful of charges, including possession of marijuana and hashish, selling less than 1 ounce, having paraphernalia, possession of marijuana in a vehicle, being under its influence, or failing to dispose of it. Every new process, as we know, takes time to perfect. So I guess it's a wait-and-see game now for the state of New Jersey and their cannabis advocates. Iowa lawmakers advance bill reducing marijuana penalties. Lawmakers are moving forward on reducing some marijuana penalties in the state of Iowa. This bill would lessen the penalties for small-scale, first-time offenders. The Senate Judiciary Committee considered Senate Study Bill 1226 last Wednesday. It reduces the first-time possession of 5 grams or less of marijuana from a serious misdemeanor down to a simple misdemeanor. That means instead of a jail sentence of up to 6 months and a fine of up to $1,000, an offender would now only receive up to 30 days in jail and a fine of no more than $855. Now, there was also a study done back in 2020 by the ACLU which found that a black person in Iowa is nearly 8 times more likely to be arrested than a white person, even though both groups use marijuana at the same rate. Rhode Island senators propose recreational cannabis legalization. Rhode Island is the next in a series of states to propose recreational cannabis as a way to boost the economy following the impact of COVID. The bill, which was introduced by the state Senate, proposed a legal cannabis bill that would tax cannabis at 20% in order to generate revenue. Miller said in a statement, cannabis legalization is a monumental shift in public policy that effectively creates a new economy. Now, it remains to be seen if Speaker Joe Shikari will support the bill, as he has not yet taken a position, pro or con, regarding marijuana legalization. This Senate proposed cannabis bill would contain plans for a Cannabis Control Commission to regulate the new industry, somewhat modeled off of the Massachusetts regulatory system. The new law would have no public cannabis consumption, as in most legal states, and it would not be legal to have unsealed cannabis containers in a car or in a public place. So far, it still remains to be seen whether this will progress, as the Senate Judiciary Committee has not yet scheduled a hearing. And we'll be right back, and here's a word from our sponsor. Chill Extreme Delta 8 Gummies. With Chill Extreme Delta 8 Gummies, the party is about to go down. Thanks to Chill Extreme Delta 8 Gummies, grab the lampshade, close the windows, and turn up the music because Chill Extreme High Dose Delta 8 Gummies are sure to get the party started. You'll experience an extreme buzz that will bring the house down thanks to this all-new world-class cannabinoid with a psychotropic high that's completely legal. Chill Extreme has isolated and extracted the Delta 8 THC, creating a Delta 8 gummy so extreme they shouldn't even be legal, but they are. Feel the buzz of a legal high as Chill Extreme Delta 8 gummies offer an extreme but enjoyable psychotropic high not unlike its big cousin Delta 9. Get your Chill Extreme Delta 8 gummies today and experience the buzz before the authorities try to kill it. For your bottle of a Chill Extreme Delta 8 gummies, click the link in the description and use the promo code HONOR for 65% off. And we're back with the Hemp Honors Daily Roundup with your host, Dante Smith. Acquisition of the week. Acquisition of the week. Acquisition of the week. CNNBS announces new partnership with Baroni Cannabis. CNNBS is excited to announce a new partnership to bring original premium cannabis products to a market with Baroni Cannabis. Powered by CNNBS and led by Chris Barone, Baroni Cannabis is the premier leader in premium hash, concentrates, and high-quality cannabis products. Through the combination of strategic investments and time-tested business practices, CNNBS is able to provide emerging and legacy brands with the right tools to address market opportunities and deliver quality cannabis products and services to consumers everywhere. Chris Barone has been a key figure in evolving the cannabis industry where it is today. It is this passion and expertise that Chris brings to a whole new array of products through Baroni Cannabis. Chris Barone said creating a group of products that people can rely on is important. And in today's quickly expanding market, it is important for consumers to have brands that they can trust and count on to deliver quality products every time. Now, as a brand expands its footprint through a new partnership with CNNBS, Baroni intends to lead the industry to a higher standard for quality and consistency so that cannabis consumers everywhere will have the best experiences. And that is your acquisition of the week. New legislation would stop denial of citizenship based on cannabis use. A new proposed piece of legislation would change the Immigration and Nationality Act to allow the neutralization of new citizens despite their past cannabis use. The bill, which would serve to amend the Immigration and Nationality Act to provide that marijuana use, possession, and distribution may not be considered for determination of whether a person is a person of good moral character, and for other purposes would be a major step forward for the citizenship process. Finally, calling out the habitual drunkard clause as outdated and problematic, the bill also claims that former cannabis offenses are not a fair measure by which to tell if someone should become a citizen. I'm interested to hear your thoughts, so comment down below. What's your thoughts? Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts has done it. Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts has launched an aggressive campaign against the legalization of medical marijuana in his state, going as far to warn his residents that legalizing the drug, which has never been linked to a fatal overdose, would literally kill their children. Ricketts told reporters on Wednesday, "This is a dangerous drug that will impact our kids." The Republican governor made the statement as the state legislature is considering a bill to legalize the use of cannabis if recommended by the healthcare practitioner. The legislation restricts the form of consumption to oils, pills, or tinctures and prohibits marijuana smoking even in the patient's home. Ricketts said, "This is a big industry that is trying not to be regulated, to go around the regulatory process, and that's going to put people at risk when you go around regulations that are designed for the health and safety of our society." Ricketts said marijuana is dangerous, citing its Schedule I classification by the Drug Enforcement Administration as evidence. However, according to the DEA, no deaths from overdose of marijuana have been reported. Legalization advocates point out the marijuana's classification was the result of an act of Congress back in 1970, which was the Controlled Substance Act, and is truly not based on conclusions. It is truly not based on a conclusion from a scientific expert. The Nebraska Supreme Court stripped a legalization measure off the ballot last year after its wording violated the state's constitution's single subject rule, which bars activists from bunching multiple issues into a single yes or no question for voters to address. Now, the state Senate Anna Wishart, a Democrat who introduced the legalization bill, said, "If the legislation doesn't pass, advocates will propose a new one-sentence ballot measure through a citizen-led petition drive." Ricketts' rhetoric is being painted as a modern example of reefer madness, referring to a 1936 anti-marijuana propaganda film that is greatly exaggerated for the dangers posed by the drug. Now, it doesn't seem like the attempt will fool very many people here these days with all the science that we have available. So That'll do it for us today here at the Hemp Honors Daily Roundup with your host, Dante Smith. Join us again for another episode of the Daily Roundup as we discuss the top news from across the hemp and cannabis industries. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all of our social media platforms under the handle Hemp Honors. Join us again as we're on 3 days a week on iHeartRadio and Apple Podcasts as we discuss all the cannabis top news in a quick 10. Again, as usual, hemp, life, love. Make sure you enjoy all of them.